The Ascent is a cyberpunk-themed action role-playing video game developed by Swedish indie game studio Neon Giant and is published by Curve Digital for the Microsoft Windows, Xbox Series X and S, and the Xbox One, and it is out now. It was developed using Unreal Engine 4 by a team of just 12 people and is also Neon Giant's debut video game. The Ascent is set in a tech-obsessed dystopian future on the world of Velas, where everything is controlled by the Ascent Group megacorporation, a company who controls slaves and people who are sponsored on the trip to the planet but then have to pay off their debts through hard labor. But all of a sudden, the Ascent Group collapses and everything falls into chaos. Districts start fighting each other and other megacorporations begin fighting for control. So it's down to you to find out what happened to the Ascent Group and stop the various other factions from seizing control of the city. Now, the first thing that I noticed about the Ascent style and gameplay is how much it reminded me of games like Diablo, Super Smash TV and Baldur's Gate. Leveling up gives you points to assign to various attributes, each one strengthening your character in different ways. Putting points into weapon handling, for instance, increases weapon swap speed and decreases the reload time, while balance points increases resistance to being stunned, knocked back and staggered, as well as helping you fire heavy weapons without slowing you down. The 8 skills are all tied to 4 attributes which can also be upgraded with certain armor pieces. Like in many other RPGs, you'll most likely be stopping every time you pick up something new to see if a certain stat is better, or if you just prefer the nice new shiny helmet over the visor you are wearing. While you have some character customization available to you, it's not the most amazing character creator, but it's okay as you will mostly be playing and seeing your character from a top-down perspective. It's only really the armor that you pick up that really changes your look, and there will be more than enough for you to choose from throughout the game. You can also equip your character with a bunch of augmentations, letting you do some real cool things in combat. Early on in the game, I found a very useful lock-on fire augmentation from a vendor, and it was a big help as it let me empty a full clip while landing every shot on a target. Or even a helpful little robot that goes around picking up ammo and health for you during combat. Which brings me to the other half of the combat, which is the gunplay and dodge roll. 2 things you will be using a lot. And it's here where I had the most fun, especially with the fun cover and shoot system. Although I must mention the lack of a run button was a strange omission, and getting around the map was a bit of a slog. But the stunning visuals and ability to fast travel via a taxi or metro alleviated this. Raising your gun with the left trigger and crouching combines perfectly to let you hide behind cover and fire over the top. It's simple but very effective at creating some intense combat situations. The AI is smart enough to rush in or flank you when you're in cover, and a lot of the time they too will take cover themselves, and you'll also have to stay alert as enemies will come from behind to force you out of cover, forcing you then to adapt to a situation going from run and dodge combat when out in the open to cover shooting when heavily outnumbered. Sometimes though, the combat difficulty just increases out of nowhere and you'll find yourself surrounded by 10 enemies, and before you know it, you're dead. But luckily I found the checkpoint system to be quite forgiving, which helped counter this. Outside of combat, there is a huge and truly beautiful cyberpunk game world to explore, and I really can't stress, guys, how good this game looks. It is just stunning to look at and really does show off the next gen hardware. The world itself is filled with insane detail, is full of life, and it really does capture the neon style of, say, Cyberpunk, Akira or Blade Runner perfectly. As you travel between areas, there are no loading times, which is great unless you need to leave the map or fast travel, in which case you are treated to a very short elevator, taxi or train ride scene. Unfortunately, the map is a huge letdown. I just never felt it was helpful in any way, and it was just an absolute mess full of icons everywhere. And its 3D style really did piss me off, especially when trying to find the many chests lying around. Think Star Wars Fallen Order's map style, but worse, and you'll know what I mean. I was also not a big fan of the menu system, bearing in mind that you're going to spend a lot of time here, especially the gun and armor comparison pages, which was way too convoluted and could take some time getting used to for some. But it's the outstanding visuals and NPCs of the city of Velas that bring the city to life. The Ascent's NPCs are very well implemented as they all go about their daily lives, until suddenly everything kicks off and they try to run away, only for them to get mowed down in the crossfire. I felt kind of bad the first time, but they just kept getting in the way. But there's a nice little touch where by just firing your gun once will send all the NPCs in the area running and screaming for their lives, which made me smile every time. Other main quest giving NPCs are interesting to talk to, and you get a good view of their character models. They all fit well within the cyberpunk world, and even the minor ones that give you sub-quests also look and are voiced well too. There are a ton of side quests to do and hidden items to find, which are well worth going for. Although again, I do worry about the map, which can be a little off-putting for some. I just in the end ignored a lot of it and done a few side missions before continuing on with the main quests. Some missions you're going to have to ignore anyway because they are leveled way higher than you are at the point of discovery. I tried one without checking the recommended level and walked into an area of enemies that were all 10 levels higher, and I died within seconds. You will also come across enemies with a bounty on their head that need to be taken care of, and in return you can go visit a bartender and collect a nice bit of cash to spend on some new weapons and armor. The Ascent is also playable in local and online co-op, and being able to revive your buddies means things become a little easier. The game also supports up to 4 players, and even from briefly testing the game with 2, it adds more fun and chaos to the battles. I must also talk about the outstanding soundtrack and sound effects, with the music being a combination of Blade Runner and Akira electronic style beats. And I really can't stress enough, guys, how well it goes with the game and how great it all sounds. So much so that I've actually gone and downloaded the album from Spotify. And finally, the guns were all lots of fun to play around with, and every single gun sounded as it should, along with a real nice feel when unloading a full clip into an enemy's chest. So, to wrap things up, considering the scope of the game and incredibly the small team of only 12 Neon Giant developers, it's not surprising there's going to be a few problems with the game. But in saying that, I have to also give these guys credit for what they have pulled off here, and hopefully they can iron out some of the problems with some planned patches they have coming over in the next few months. If you want more cyberpunk in your life, then this is a great option. And don't forget that this is also on Game Pass, so hey, why not give it a try? I am going to give the Ascent a very, very strong 7 out of 10. So guys, thank you so much as always for watching my review. Please don't forget to subscribe to my channel, as I'm almost at the lovely 500 subs landmark. And hit the like button if you enjoyed or found the review helpful, and hit the bell button so you never miss one of my videos. Thank you all again, take care out there, and I will see you all on the next video. Bye bye guys.
This is, or was, the Ascent Group main metropolis. Like you, most people have contracted their entire lives away to get here. Workers or indents, slaves in all but name.
The Ascent Group arcology on Velas has shut down. If the latter is true, corporate graft teams will already be moving in.
This is a crisis supernova. The Ascent Group has collapsed. We have a shot at true independence. I won't let it go to waste.
We wish to test your abilities by giving you a special assignment. Find out what happened.
It looks like we're gonna have to work together on this one. Let's get it done!